Alright, welcome back guys. Setting change. Again, I know where my camera's position is changed from the last time I filmed. The reason is I am strapped for time and I need a video for this week because I didn't upload last week and apparently I didn't upload the week before, which was a little oversight on my part. I actually thought I did upload, but I guess I didn't. So next week I should be back to like normal type videos, but this is like normal type as in like how the camera's set up and stuff, how you're looking at me. But this is how we're doing it for now, so suck it up. But a few months back, I made a video talking about my frustrations with the window build on the Odin, the Odin. This thing right here. I have my name engraved on the back and everything. You probably can't read that, but my name is engraved on the back. Pretty cool. I said that I didn't really have much use for it because the emulation quality was worse and a lot of the games I wanted to play on it did not run at full speed, so I didn't really play it all that much. Plus, it wiped your entire like Android and like Android file base if you did that, so you needed to back up everything if you wanted to save any like save files or something. And I lost a lot of my saves, which to be fair is my fault. I should have seen that coming and like backed up my save files, but I didn't. So I'm blaming it on the Windows build, it's not my fault. No. But a few months later, the ability to dual boot from either Linux and Android or Windows and Android was given to us through an OTA update from Odin, and that honestly piqued my interest a lot. I was more interested in the Linux side of things because I know you can get better emulation quality through Linux sometimes, like stuff through like Batocera and other Linux builds or something. But as of right now, I haven't seen any working Linux builds for the Odin. I definitely hadn't seen any builds of Linux by the time I decided to go back to my old ways and do boot to Windows. And honestly, I was pretty disappointed. I like quickly talked about it, like skimmed over it in my 6 months in video that I made, and all of the points that I made there still stand. The initial like process to get it to actually dual boot is not streamlined at all, which you can't really blame the developers for because this is a very weird setup. But at the same time, it was very frustrating because I had several moments during that install process where I thought I bricked my system or my handheld because it wasn't responding for minutes at a time. So that was very frustrating. But the actual experience of Windows on the Odin isn't where I want it to be. It might just be that I'm dual booting Windows and Android because there have been noticeable graphical glitches and like slowdowns and stuff that weren't prevalent when you just did a complete flash, but the performance just isn't as good as I'd hoped. Running games like Cuphead at full speed is just impossible, and running Tomb Raider, which I thought ran pretty well, but apparently it doesn't because I couldn't get it to run at a stable frame rate. I've tried multiple games, like 3D games of that caliber, like Tomb Raider and Fall Guys, and they didn't run well. Both really didn't run well. Fall Guys wouldn't even launch, and I'm not even sure if I got it to uninstall because I can't open the Epic Games launcher without it taking 7 years to actually load. I understand that you can't expect the world from this device. Like, you can't expect AAA gaming stuff on this thing, but I feel like it's too much of a compromise to just dual boot instead of just doing a clean install, because doing a clean install, you at least got better performance. Doing like a install of Windows just alone, not dual booting, seems to be the best way to get the most out of Windows on the Odin, because I've watched a bunch of videos of like these other channels that put Windows on the Odin and they got games like Tomb Raider and Cuphead running at like really well, or like Cuphead running at full speed, and that wasn't with the dual boot, it was with a clean install. So it leads me to believe that's the best option. Even Retro Game Corps points out the less than ideal performance in his video on the dual boot.
But I do want to make a couple notes that I noticed with this particular install of Windows. Certain games that played just fine a couple months ago now seem to have some sort of graphical glitches. I've informed the developers of this change here, and so they're looking into it, and I'm hoping that we'll see an update here in the future. But for now, some games like Castle Crashers unfortunately have this weird glitch. And unfortunately, one of the games I was looking forward to the most, which is Braid here, is just glitching out like crazy. It's unplayable.
From what I can tell, there hasn't been any like meaningful updates to this Windows install, leaving me with this subpar performance. I mean, Celeste didn't even run at full speed. If you got too much stuff on screen, it started to slow down and get choppy, making it go down to a less than ideal frame rate. Even emulation isn't good. I mean, that's not why you'd want to do this, because emulation is better on Android anyway, but still, like, everything that can run on Android runs better on Android. So unless you're doing a clean install of Windows and only want to play Steam or indie games, I would not recommend doing this. Especially not the dual boot. Maybe the video title should be dual booting Windows on the Odin still sucks, but that doesn't sound nice. And be real, you wouldn't click on that anyway. It's all about the views, baby. But that's about all I wanted to say. I don't expect much to change, and even if it does, I'd rather just wait for my low-key Macs and these other Windows-based devices to come in, because they're probably gonna give me a better Windows experience than the Odin ever will. Even the low-key Zero, the cheapest device in the low-key lineup that is cheaper than the current price of the Odin Pro. Currently it's cheaper than the Odin Base even, and when it's at retail it's going to be cheaper than the Odin Pro. Is probably going to give me a better experience on Windows than this thing. Also, if you didn't see my community post that while I'm recording I posted today, but it's probably from a few days ago or yesterday or 2 days ago, from whenever this video goes up or whenever you're watching it, I pre-ordered a low-key Zero. That price tag was just way too enticing, and I'm genuinely interested to see what it can do, because it is like low price, very low price, and I'm like, what can that do for that low price and still run Windows? So I'm interested. But aside from that, this sucks, at least for me. If you can find games that play well, by all means do it, but I'm not recommending it to anybody anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Follow my Instagram and Twitter, they're linked in the description. Goodbye. I will see you next week for something. Hopefully my Retroid Pocket 3 unboxing, I hope. But I'll see you then. Bye-bye.